Good morning everyone. Hope you all are doing fine today. Today we are going to study Grammar Chapter 2 from Class 9th. Verb, classes, forms and tenses. Today we are going to study only classes and tenses. Whereas forms we will be looking into the coming session. Now let's begin. Classes. As a part of speech, verb can be divided into three major classes or categories according to their function within the verb phrase. So you can see here there are three division in or category in classes: lexical verbs or full verbs, primary verb or modal auxiliary. What is lexical verb? Lexical verb is also called as full verb. This is an open verb or it is an open class. Why so? Because in this we can add new words. So in this category, the late word which is added was Google. We often say I will Google and find it out. Unlike the open categories or the open class, that is primary verb and modal auxiliary, here we do not add or there is no possibility of adding new verb. If you look into the examples for lexical verb, eat, run, see, etc. For primary verb, this is a closed class as I have already mentioned. Few examples: be, have, do. Modal auxiliary, this is also a closed verb. Few examples: can, may, shall, will, must, could, might, should, would. Lexical verb or full verb acts as a main verb. Primary verb acts as a main verb as well as modal auxiliary, or in another word it also acts as a helping verb. Whereas modal auxiliary has only one role, it acts as a helping verb. Now let us look into the next verb. As I have already mentioned, there is main verb and there is also final verb. What is main verb? If in a sentence you have only one verb, then it is main verb. Okay, if there is only one verb in the verb phrase, then it is main verb. On the other side, if in a sentence there are multiple verbs, then the last verb is a main verb, whereas the one or more verb that comes before it or before the main verb, it is auxiliary. In other sense, I can say it is helping verb. Look at the example. They might be leaving soon. Here, leaving is a main verb and might be is a auxiliary. Now let us look it into the next. Have. Have, as we have already studied in English literature, a chapter which deals with have. Have you thought of the verb have? Unit 1.4. In that chapter, we have already dealt or we have already studied the various way when we can use help and and where we cannot use have. Let us look into some. Showing physical possessions. Example, he has 2 cars. When few things which belongs to me, belongs to you or belongs to someone else, we can use have or has. Describing eating and drinking. I would like to have a glass of water. I would like to have a piece of cake, and so on. Describing experience, events, programs, etc. Example, I had a tough time last night. I missed my bus. I had a good time, and so on. Describing illness. I have cold. She has fever. I have a severe headache, and so on. On the other hand, have as an auxiliary or helping verb. Have acts as a perfect tense. Had acts as a past tense. Okay, we use have in the perfect tense, whereas we use had in the past tense. Have and has we can use both in the present perfect. Few examples. She did not phone Sam because she had lost his number. It is a perfect past perfect. I have written to Neeta, so she knows everything about it. This is perfect tense. Now let's answer the following. Spot the error. Neeta have two sisters. You have to tell me what is wrong in this sentence. And you can think of it? Yes, have is wrong. It is supposed to be has. Neeta has two sisters. Okay. So have is wrong. So it is supposed to be has. Sam does not have a car. Is there something wrong in it? No. This is a correct sentence. Sam does not have a car. Then let's look into the next. State that has, have, had is used as main or an auxiliary verb. You have to tell me whether in this sentence is there have, has or had, and if it is, then what it is acting as. Is it acting as a main verb or it is acting as an auxiliary verb? Yes, I can see a has here. Is there any other verb here? Made is also a verb, but I don't have or had, or there's no repetition of has and have here. So, and made and has are acting as a verb. Made is a second. So I said when the last verb is there, the last verb will become a main verb, whereas before that it will become a auxiliary verb. So has is an auxiliary verb. Now let's look into the next tenses. Here we have to study verb as per tenses. We are having 3 tenses as we all have studied in our lower classes: present, past and future. Later, these 3 sentences are further subdivided into 4 sections. Simple tense. I'll give you a simple trick. When you say simple tense, you can say simple past, simple future. Now simple continuous, past continuous, future continuous, present perfect, past perfect, future perfect, present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, future perfect continuous. Isn't it easy? Now let us go further and study few rules. Before that, if you can answer me, if it is present tense, simple present, then it will be for the past, past, present and past, future. Is it? No, it will be simple past and simple future. Similarly, past continuous or you can use continuous in another word as progressive. I can say past progressive. If it is past progressive, it will be present progressive and future progressive. If it is future perfect, then present perfect, past perfect. If it is future perfect continuous, then present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous. Hope you have understood this. Now let's go into the next. A simple rules we have to study. First we have to know that there is always subject, verb, object. In every tenses we have to remember subject. We have to remember the subject, verb, object. In in between there will be few changes. Now, what is a rule for simple present tense? Subject plus verb plus object. The sentence is Sachin writes a letter. Sachin is a subject, writes is a verb, and letter is a object. What is a rule for simple past tense? Subject, verb, ed and object. Why ed? Because it is past. See, the formula is same. The only change is we are adding ed in this. So what will be the sentence? Sachin wrote. Past of the writes is wrote. Sachin wrote a letter yesterday. Now what will be simple future tense? Subject, will, shall plus verb plus object. Here we added ed. Now we have to remove the ed and add will or shall. So the sentence will be Sachin will write a letter tomorrow. Okay, hope you understood this. Now let's go to the next one. The continuous tense. Present continuous tense. Here we have subject plus am is are plus ing of main verb. Whichever main verb you are going to use, you have to write ing with that main verb plus object. For example, I am is I am eating an apple. So I am using the main verb eat. With that I have to write ing. So I wrote ing. I am eating an apple. Past continuous tense. Here again, whatever it is, when whatever present is in present tense, it will become past in the past tense. Subject is will become was, are will become were. Subject was, subject plus was were plus ing of main verb plus object. Okay, so it will become I was eating an apple this morning. The subject is I have written was. For I am writing e as a main verb, so I join ing. So I was eating an apple this morning. Future continuous tense. Here let's see. Subject plus will be, shall be plus ing of verb, main verb plus object. Then it will be I shall be eating an apple in winters. Now let's go to the next. Perfect tense. So present perfect, past perfect, future perfect. Okay. So here subject plus has, have, ed or en of main verb. In the previous we saw ing, okay, in continuous. Now in perfect we use ed or en of main verb plus object. So it will be Seema has studied hard today. So in previously I have used ing, so studying, but here it will be Seema has studied hard today. So ed. Now past perfect. Subject had ed en of main verb plus object. So it will be Seema wondered if anyone had told Sam. So had, I am using had from the rule. Future perfect. Okay, here subject plus shall, will plus have, ed or en of main verb plus object. So sentence will be Seema will have studied hard for her exams. Now let's study perfect continuous tense. Here in a particular sentence you will find a mistake. You have to identify that mistake. Before that, let's go to the rules and study them. Present perfect continuous. Here we have subject, has and have, been ing plus ing of main verb and object. The sentence should be I have been studying language since years. Have, I am using have been from the rule. Study is my main verb, so I use ing for that. So it became I have been studying. Now let's go to the next. Past perfect continuous. Subject had plus been plus ing of main verb plus object. So my subject, and I should use had plus been plus ing of main verb. So we have been discussing. Okay, now there is a mistake here. I have used have, but here there is a had. It is contradicting. Yes, so this is wrong. So this is wrong, and it has to be had. It has to be had. So it should be we had been discussing the matter hours before coming to a decision. Now let's go to the next one. Future perfect continuous. Here we have subject shall, will plus have plus been plus ing of main verb and object. So we can say it, we will have been walking for hours before we reach. Hope you have understood this. Thank you. We will continue this chapter in the next section where we will discuss about verb in forms. Thank you for now. Have a nice time.